General Hospital spoilers tease that a new haunting storyline within the Corinthos and Quartermain families is becoming increasingly dark and complicated. Gioi, a child who once seemed accepted and adopted into the family, now faces bitter rejection from those he believed were his own. Despite their individual concerns and reasoning, Dante and Brooklyn ultimately decide not to accept Gioi as their child. Even though he is Dante's biological son, and an undeniable part of both the Quartermain and Corinthos bloodlines. This decision doesn't just break Gioi's heart, it shatters every hope he has carried for years. Gioi had placed his full trust in the idea of finding a family, one where he could feel safe and experience unconditional love. But this rejection, like a brutal emotional blow, completely buries the faith and hope he once had. It's not just a struggle between right and wrong. It's a denial of identity, a stripping away of not just family ties but a core part of who Gioi is. Being turned away at the very moment he thought he had found purpose and belonging leaves Gioi feeling invisible, a ghost in the lives of those he once saw as everything. He doesn't just feel the coldness from Dante and Brooklyn, he comes to understand that he may never truly belong in this family, never receive the acceptance he has longed for. To Gioi, this rejection is not merely painful. It's a wound that won't heal, a betrayal from the very people he once loved and trusted. The humiliation he feels is beyond words, like a heavy stone crushing his chest, leaving him exhausted and emotionally drained. Rejection is nothing new for Gioi, but this time, it cuts deeper than ever. He no longer feels like a child seeking love and care, he feels like a stranger, an outsider in a family that was supposed to be his. He can no longer look at Dante and Brooklyn as loved ones, but as people who coldly and heartlessly turned their backs on him. Though they may not have meant to hurt him, their refusal creates an irreparable fracture. The justifications they offer may sound reasonable to them, but to Gioi, they're unforgivable. Each rejection is another break in his already fragile heart. By denying him as their child, they aren't just refusing a boy. They're denying a relationship that Gioi had deeply hoped would exist. For him, it's a betrayal too deep to forgive. He feels cast aside, left adrift in a vast sea with no one to rescue him. This pain not only distances him from the Quartermains but causes him to question every relationship in his life. He begins to wonder if he truly belongs anywhere, if anyone will ever genuinely love and accept him for who he is. Slowly, Gioi realizes that he cannot continue living in a family that no longer has love for him. When both Dante and Brooklyn can't recognize him as their child, he sees no choice but to look elsewhere, for a new place, a new family, where he might finally feel like he belongs. Loneliness begins to overwhelm Gioi's mind. He's no longer a child in need of protection, but a grown man, crushed by failed relationships and a future that feels uncertain. The feeling of abandonment isn't just from his loved ones, it feels like society itself is pushing him away. The coldness he senses from his family doesn't just hurt, it drives him into confusion, unsure of where to go or what to do next. And in that moment, Gioi begins to understand that perhaps he'll never truly belong in this family. Maybe turning away from them is the only way he'll ever find himself again. Sonny notices that a new calculation is forming in Gioi's life. One that could change everything he knows about his family. Though Sonny doesn't fully understand Gioi's past or the dark secrets he carries, he makes the decision to take Gioi in and care for him. This is not just a compassionate act to protect a rejected child, it's a deliberate, strategic move. Sonny realizes that Gioi is no ordinary child, and his presence in the family could spark an unexpected new chapter filled with surprises and challenges. As the head of the Corinthos family, Sonny doesn't just adopt Gioi, he's weighing the potential advantages Gioi could bring to the family legacy. Even though Gioi may be connected to the Quartermains, he is not fully immersed in the Corinthos world, a realm defined by power struggles, hidden agendas, and dangerous secrets. But in Sonny's eyes, Gioi is a crucial piece of the puzzle, someone who could strengthen and expand his influence. Especially when he sees in Gioi the same innate qualities Sonny once recognized in himself as a young man. Still, this decision is far from simple. Gioi is not just any child, he carries a complex and shadowy past that not everyone can understand. Even under Sonny's protection, Gioi bears deep psychological scars from his past traumas, particularly the rejection from the quartermains and emotional wounds that refuse to fade. The secrets Gioi harbors may be assets Sonny can use to solidify his power, but they could also become volatile threats. Sonny begins to feel uneasy, knowing that bringing Gioi into his home isn't just about protection. Gioi might be a powerful tool in a larger strategy, but he could also be an unpredictable danger. As Gioi receives care and attention from Sonny, he also begins to change. The emotional wounds he carries are not easily healed, and that inner pain may lead to outbursts, impulsive decisions, and behaviors even Sonny can't foresee. Slowly, Gioi transforms, not just into a foster child, but into a potential weapon in Sonny's hands. The dark emotions and growing resistance inside Gioi could spark crises within the Corinthos family. Gioi is not just a child in need of shelter. He's a dangerous variable, a character in an untold story whose confrontation with his own secrets might drag him down a treacherous path. Sonny understands that while Gioi's presence may offer major benefits, it also means facing new, unpredictable threats. The wounds Gioi carries could become a source of strength for the family, or a ticking time bomb if those secrets are exposed. In his loneliness and pain, Gioi won't easily accept the life Sonny envisions for him. He won't be a passive heir who simply follows orders. He may seek to assert himself, even challenge the very people he once saw as family. As Gioi increasingly sees the possibility of power and control in Sonny's world, it may strain their relationship, potentially setting off disasters the Corinthos family cannot anticipate. Gioi, with his complex emotions and unhealed wounds, begins questioning what he truly needs and wants in life. Will he find acceptance in the Corinthos family's embrace? Or will the rebellion inside him ignite a fire that burns down everything Sonny has built? As Gioi's darkness becomes more visible, and as Sonny is drawn deeper into high-stakes schemes, no one can be sure what will happen next. A disaster may be coming, and it won't just involve Gioi. It could send shockwaves through the lives of everyone around him. Gioi is currently going through a major turning point in his life, as he begins to realize that he is not just an outsider in the Corinthos family, but in fact the sole heir to the power Sonny has spent years building. Gioi's story is shifting in ways no one could have predicted, and everything he has endured up to now has merely been the foundation for a future filled with power and control. This change is not just a personal transformation for Gioi. It marks a transfer of power within the family, a monumental shift that neither Dante nor Brooklyn can easily reject. Gioi is no longer the abandoned child of the past. He is now slowly grasping the power the Corinthos family has fought so hard to maintain. Gioi's first steps in taking over this power are marked by determination and sharp strategy. He is not only learning from Sonny but also displaying natural leadership qualities. His decisions are no longer emotionally driven. They are calculated moves aimed at solidifying his position within the family. Those around him are beginning to realize that Gioi is becoming not just a potential heir, but someone capable of replacing Sonny in the future. With Gioi and Sonny's growing bond, Gioi is increasingly seen as a trusted partner in Sonny's long-planned strategies. However, this shift doesn't come without resistance. Dante and Brooklyn, who have faced years of tension and hardship, cannot ignore the fact that Gioi is changing the balance of power in the Corinthos family. They can no longer simply reject this transformation. Though they once turned Gioi away, they now must confront the undeniable truth. Gioi is not just part of the family, he is the one poised to inherit its power. Anxiety, unease, and discomfort begin to cloud Dante and Brooklyn's minds as they see Gioi not only stepping into a leadership role, but becoming a true power within the family. This forces them to question their own future within the family. Dante, Gioi's biological father, grows increasingly insecure about his own position. He was once seen as a leader in the eyes of those around him, but now, with Gioi entering this world and earning Sonny's support, Dante is no longer certain of where he stands. He worries not only about his relationship with Gioi, but also whether he still has the strength to hold his place in the family. Gioi is not just a son anymore. He's a potential rival, someone capable of taking the power Dante once thought was his. This makes the relationship between Dante and Gioi more strained and complex than ever. Brooklyn, although not directly involved in the family's power structure, cannot escape Gioi's growing influence. As the mother of the child she once gave up, Brooklyn carries deep guilt and regret. Now, as Gioi proves himself to be a capable leader, she's forced to reevaluate her connection to him. Her past rejection haunts her, especially now that she realizes she missed the chance to be the mother of the one who is becoming the Corinthos family's sole heir. This guilt and sense of inadequacy shake her position in the family, as Gioi's presence increasingly dominates. The fact that Gioi is becoming the heir to the Corinthos empire isn't just a personal triumph, it's a strategic upheaval for everyone connected to the family. Gioi is learning from Sonny, but he's also developing abilities of his own, abilities few anticipated. Gradually, Gioi is not just an heir, but someone capable of changing everything within the Corinthos family. His assertiveness toward family members is not just part of his strategy, it's a deliberate effort to cement his role. As Gioi proves himself to be indispensable, Dante and Brooklyn can no longer remain on the sidelines. They can no longer reject this transformation. They must face the reality that Gioi is the future of the Corinthos family. The growing sense of unease within them stems from their realization that Gioi will not just inherit power, he will be the one making decisions for the family. The power struggle has begun, and Gioi now holds all the cards. Gioi's story is becoming more complex and intense as he begins to make significant adjustments to how he approaches power and influence. With sharp, strategic calculations, Gioi is no longer just a potential heir, he's taking an active role in reshaping the Corinthos family's future. These changes don't only affect his own life, they mark a power shift that disrupts the advantages long held by Dante and Brooklyn. Gioi is no longer a child needing protection, he's rising to become an influential figure, one with the ability to make major decisions for the family. What Gioi is doing is not just about seeking acceptance. It's a clear strategy to seize control and leadership. He's proving that he is not just a simple heir, but a visionary capable of leading the family into a new era. He no longer relies on the protection or decisions of others, he now independently builds and executes his own strategies to secure his position. Meanwhile, Dante and Brooklyn, once key figures in the Corinthos family, are gradually losing the influence they once had. Gioi's emergence, marked by bold decisions and calculated power plays, is making their roles increasingly uncertain and threatened. Dante, especially, must confront the undeniable reality. Gioi is not just his son, he's a potential rival, someone capable of upending the family's power structure. Gioi's choices are no longer limited to his own future, they're beginning to shake the foundations of Dante's authority in the family. Dante is no longer the unchallenged head of the family. He now witnesses a massive shift taking place, one where Gioi is becoming the real power. Feelings of loss and anxiety are rising within Dante, as he realizes his position is no longer secure. With calculated and decisive moves, Gioi is taking over the power Dante once held. This not only threatens Dante but also forces him to confront his future. Can he maintain his influence, or will he have to step aside for the son he once viewed as merely a child in need of protection? Brooklyn, while not a direct player in the Corinthos power dynamics, also feels the impact. As Gioi's mother, she must face not only the guilt and regret of having abandoned him, but also the uncomfortable truth: Gioi is rising to power, and her place in the family is becoming less stable. Her efforts to maintain family harmony are now overshadowed by Gioi's growing dominance. Her relationship with Gioi is no longer simple. The guilt she carries is no longer just about giving him up. It's also about the fact that she cannot change the past. Now, she must face a strong, determined Gioi, no longer the son she once knew, but a man holding power who can alter the entire family dynamic. Gioi isn't just the heir, he's becoming the decision-maker of the family. He's proving himself to be the only one capable of leading the Corinthos family through its coming challenges. His decisions are shaping not only the family's future but also every relationship within it. Dante and Brooklyn can no longer ignore the reality. Their roles and positions are changing. This isn't just an emotional shift, it's a major shift in power and influence. Gioi is becoming someone who can no longer be denied, and this changes not only the family structure, but opens a future that no one can predict. One of Gioi's most strategic moves is gradually taking control away from those closest to him. Gioi is no longer just a potential heir. He is the one who will take over the Corinthos empire, and he knows exactly how to seize that opportunity. This adjustment not only strengthens Gioi's position, it redefines his relationships with his loved ones. Dante and Brooklyn are left with no choice but to face the truth. Gioi is the only one who can lead the family into the future. The advantages they once held are slowly disappearing as Gioi continues to consolidate power. With his deep experience in the underworld, Sonny recognizes that now is a crucial moment for Gioi to prove himself. By pushing Gioi into a confrontation with Emma, a representative of the WSB, World Security Bureau, Sonny isn't just testing Gioi's ability to lead the Corinthos family, he's also forcing him to face a much larger challenge, one that goes beyond family dynamics, to prove he is truly worthy of inheriting the family's power. This confrontation is not merely a clash between two individuals, it represents a battle between two opposing worlds. On one side, the criminal underworld embodied by Sonny and the Corinthos family. On the other, a powerful national security organization led by Emma, a woman of rules and ideals. The story of Gioi and Emma, two people with completely opposing beliefs and goals, is not just a tense psychological duel but a dramatic collision between two powerful and conflicting forces. Sonny doesn't just see Gioi as a son, but as a potential strategist who could one day replace him. But for Gioi to seize this opportunity, he must face a challenge unlike any he's ever encountered, one that will test his understanding of principles he's never truly grasped, and his patience and inner strength. Emma is no easy opponent. She represents the WSB, where everything operates under strict discipline and rule of law, with no room for ambiguity or personal emotion. Meanwhile, Gioi, though experienced in internal family struggles and the chaos of the underworld, is unfamiliar with the rigid structure and lack of flexibility that Emma's world demands. This stark contrast only heightens the tension and drama of their impending conflict. This is more than a battle for power, it's a confrontation of ideals, of control, and of each person's role in the world they are determined to shape. For Gioi, the clash with Emma is not just a personal trial. It is a defining moment. For too long, he's lived in the shadow of his family, of Sonny, never truly having the chance to stand on his own. But now, with this confrontation, Gioi realizes there is no more room for hesitation, no more room for self-doubt. He must show that he is not just the heir to the Corinthos empire, but someone capable of standing firm in a world where his values may not be welcomed. Sonny sees this as the perfect opportunity for Gioi to prove to both the family and the criminal world that he can take over with strength and conviction. But Sonny also understands that this decision comes with unpredictable consequences. By throwing Gioi into this battle, he isn't just handing over control of the family, he's entrusting him with an immense responsibility. If Gioi succeeds, he will become the rightful successor. But if he fails, not only will the family be at risk, but the entire empire that Sonny has built could collapse. This demonstrates the high level of risk and careful calculation in Sonny's decision. As the Corinthos family's representative, Gioi will not only have to face Emma, but also the weight of expectations and pressure from within his own family. Sonny is not someone who easily places his trust in others, and Gioi, though an adopted son, must prove himself more than anyone else. Sonny's support is not easily earned, and proving that he can stand up to a formidable force like the WSB will be Gioi's greatest test. If he can overcome it, he won't just earn the respect of his family and the underworld, but he will solidify his place as a legitimate leader. But this won't be easy. Gioi must face not only Emma, but the complex relationships within his own family. Dante, Gioi's biological father, has already struggled with the changes happening in the family. He can't help but feel uneasy seeing his son gradually emerge as a potential rival in the power struggle. Brooklyn, while not directly involved in strategic decision-making, must also reevaluate her place as Gioi's influence continues to grow. This confrontation is not just a test of strength and intellect, it's a battle of loyalty and ideals. Emma and Gioi each represent opposing worlds, and their story is more than a personal clash, it's a war between two powerful forces. The WSB, driven by unwavering ideals, will go head-to-head with the Corinthos family, where power and family loyalty reign supreme. Both sides will fight not just for personal goals, but for the future of the values they represent. With a new perspective on power and his role in it, Gioi is becoming an indispensable figure in this unfolding saga. His battle with Emma marks a major turning point in his journey. It's his moment to prove that he is not just Sonny's son, but a man who can stand on his own, defend what's his, and build a future for his family. And this moment could change not only Gioi, but the entire landscape of the underworld the Corinthos family has spent years shaping.